Hey, how's it going, guys? I've got the Aldo Cube iPlay 16 Mini Turbo here. Now, this has been a little controversial because this does not have a cellular network like the iPlay 16 Mini Pro did, and this does not have Wi-Fi 6 either, which is kind of unfortunate on that part because they did that for cost-cutting reasons. That's what they told me. But still, honestly, it's capable of having Wi-Fi 6, so I feel like they should have incorporated that at least instead because they didn't have a cellular network on here. Now, to have a cellular network, it might cost a little bit extra for manufacturing. I'm not exactly sure by how much or whatever. Either or would have been nice. Wi-Fi 6 would have definitely been preferred. Actually, not really preferred, but it would have been probably a cheaper option to implement because this does have a Snapdragon 6 Gen 1. And I know some people have been complaining about that too, saying that it's only a Snapdragon 6. What an old processor. Sure, yeah, it's pretty old, or actually not too old, but it's not bad either. It performed pretty well when I was playing Genshin Impact. Pretty much everything I throw at it at non-high graphics settings runs pretty well on here, and I'll show that in just a moment. This is honestly, to me, really meant more as a budget-friendly gaming tablet because you can game on here, and it has a somewhat decent battery life. Now, I say somewhat or decent because I've only used it lightly, and so far from what I've seen, it's ran pretty well with moderate use, and more heavy usage, it might not last all day. By that, I mean if you're playing games almost all day, it might last like half the day or so. But nonetheless, performance is really what this has going for it at the price point. So if that's what you're looking for, then look no further because as I'm showing right now, everything's pretty smooth here. Is this 60 FPS? Let's double check here. Okay, and then we're going to go into graphics here. And yeah, it is at 60 FPS, and it says here the graphics performance load is at the highest here, which is kind of interesting. It seems like it's really pretty smooth. As I look around, it might deteriorate a little bit in terms of like lag or stutters here and there. So far, it's doing a pretty good job. Yeah, a really good job actually, better than expected. Yeah, so I'm impressed with this gameplay. And I'll try PUBG Mobile on here. But it's safe to say that this is a great gaming tablet. I know I wish they had those features. It would have been nice. I know the cellular network is a deal breaker, and if that's the case, they still have the iPlay 60 Mini Pro. I know the performance is not as good because it's using a Helio G99, the same one that they used in the previous gen, which was last year's model, the iPlay 50 Mini Pro, and that's a little disappointing. You're not really future-proofing yourself, although it does perform well to do basic tasks and everything, because this does have 8 gigs of RAM. That has 8 gigs of RAM. Even the 2023 version did. It all performed great, but I don't know how long the Helio G99 will last. And speaking of lasting, one thing to note is that don't expect to get upgrades to like Android 15 or so on and so forth. Software support is almost non-existent from what I've heard for Alto Cube, so that's just one thing to point out. So you kind of get what you pay for here. By the way, for this game, PUBG Mobile, these are the graphics I have it set to, and it's performing pretty well so far. I haven't noticed any major issues or lag. I know I'm dropping right now, but I did play a game before this. It seems like it might not be completely smooth in frame rate, but it's doing decently. It's doing a good job here. And honestly, I kind of like it for what it's worth. Now, I'll get to pricing in just a second, but I'm coming from the background where I've tested out tablets around this price range, and they just did not perform as well as this is. So they are getting better and better over the years, and that's to be expected. But I feel like, in a way, we're kind of at that point where we don't have to worry about performance so much for basic things like this. We can have good screens with wide vinyl level L1, which is what I was like hoping for, and that's what this has, a 1920 by 1200 IPS display. And the screen is better. It has more natural colors compared to the iPlay 50 Mini Pro that was there last year. This screen is identical to the iPlay 60 Mini Pro. Now, the only downside with the screen is that it's not as bright as I'd like it to be. I'd like it to be a little brighter. I'm not saying it's dim right now or anything along those lines, but it's just not going to be usable outdoors. Despite all that, this is really what I'd be looking for in a tablet: a good screen, good battery, good performance. You got those three down, the basics. So that's what I like about this, and that's what makes this a solid budget gaming tablet. Now, in terms of pricing, this is kind of going around the place, but the lowest I've seen it for is on AliExpress for $150. And I'm not sure if that's always going to be around, but I know they're going to be releasing this on Amazon. I'm not sure if they already have, but at the time of this video, when I checked just a little bit a while ago, they did not have it up on Amazon. Hopefully they will soon, because that's what they told me. They're planning to have it within like the next few weeks or so, if not sooner. So we'll have to see what price it starts at. But I feel like at 150, this is a good choice. I really have no complaints, besides missing some of those features, of course. And the other thing is there's no headphone jack, and the fact that this is like the same body as it was on the other two. So it might feel kind of like stale seeing the same thing over and over again. Maybe that's just me, because I've been reviewing these tablets like almost back to back. So that's the only thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is it justified for $150 to get this? Because again, it has the three major things that I was looking for, at least, or I would be looking for in a budget tablet. And are the features a deal breaker for you? I'd like to know that too. Is that too big of a deal, or is it something you can live with, or is there another tablet you'd be going for or recommending? I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts. So anyways, guys, stay tuned for more, as I'll be checking out other budget tablets, and any recommendations you guys have, I might check those out too. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.